and welcome back to the 2013 MLG Winter Championship, where we're currently casting some round of 16 action between Sen and Parting. I'm axeltoss, joined by the handsome EG in control.
Thank you.
Hopefully that's not too forward.
No,
I feel like our relationship
get told that all the time.
Right.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. It's fine.
Good. Perfect. So what do you think about this series so far?
Gonna be honest with you, game number 3 was shaping up to be what I thought game number 1 was, which was really exciting back and forth action, but I felt like Sen fell off the wagon. He didn't keep up with Parting, and also Parting was learning from game number 1, where he said, okay, earlier Templar, exploit the mobility of your, or lack thereof, of your Swarm host and start to capitalize on that, as opposed to, I mean, I guess allowing Cloud Kingdom to kind of win the match for him, and because he couldn't get into multiple points. But game number 2 was, it's fun in the scope of a series.
Yeah.
It's like a 7-gate. I wasn't that excited.
There always
about
has to be one of those, I feel like,
yeah,
in a best of 5. I
respect it. I don't dislike it. Like, nobody should hear me saying, I don't like the Party did that. We're playing to win. You absolutely should do stuff like that. But as far as entertainment value, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, you know, these players, they have, there's a reason they win so many tournaments, because they create these builds. That's like the thing, when you see these things happen, at least for those at home, I mean, that's what you have to appreciate most about them, is that they're so optimized that everything is lined up to the 2 probes in the beginning, mining the minerals, like to the forge being right next to the middle. You know, random stuff like that you think at home, oh, that's pretty random. These players, they practice these builds over and over and over again, completely optimize them. So when I see stuff like that, I think more about, you know, that aspect of it rather than as far as entertainment. Because StarCraft is such a complicated game. It's really exciting to see what can these guys come up with to truly optimize their race, optimize you know, their playstyle or whatever. So.
And to play the series, not necessarily just the game.
Yes.
The way that 7-gate functions in a series is that Sen should look at that and say, I don't know if I want to go gasless. Maybe that's not the greatest idea, and I need to look for those probes, otherwise I'll die. Yeah,
absolutely. Before we get too far, let's go and introduce the players. The bottom left-hand location, we have the Red Protoss player, currently up 2-1. He's 1 win away from advancing on to the round of 8, representing SK Telecom T1. He is Parting.
And ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce for you our last Zerg combatant. The only man standing there. Wait, is Life still alive?
Yes.
One of 2 Zerg combatants in the entire tournament. It is Gamania Bears Sen. And I'm absolutely certain it's not Gamania, but whatever it is, I won't be able to pronounce it, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. But guess what? It's gonna be, I'm guessing, Nexus first, Forge, or Gateway Cannon versus 3-hatch, about 41 supply, takes 2 gases. Both these guys seem to really like their starts. I don't see too much deviation. You
know, if there was a map where the Zerg didn't go to 3 mages, quick 3 hatches, I think this might be one of those. I mean, you have 2 options for third bases. The one that's close to your opponent.
Yeah.
This map is smaller-ish than the ones we've seen, so I feel like that can be a little bit dangerous. There are some timings, even if it's not, like the Protoss not investing a lot into it, where, you know, you could lose that hatchery if you're not careful, especially considering Sen has been going speedless. And then you have the base in the top right, which is actually a pretty, like, I'd say 3 stone throws away from that natural.
Yeah.
So it's a decent distance there. So it's probably still going to be 3-hatch, but if there was a map where it wasn't, I mean, this might be it.
It's not a great map for Zerg in that respect. I absolutely agree with you. The challenge of which third to take is certainly there. I think where Zerg starts to gain some traction and where I'd like to see Sen change up his play is that it's fairly wide open for the Protoss as well. So force fields will not guarantee the safety of your third outright. If they fight from the bottom and the top, certainly you won't have enough sentries to do that unless you're doing some weird comical build where you have 20 sentries. So I feel like if we see an aggressive Sen, it rolls out with like Roach Hydra, Roach Hydra Corrupt is okay, but I think Roach Hydra Viper's better. We see this from Violet quite a bit. I would love to see that on this map because I think this map's made for that. Or like super fast Swarm hosts that hit when the Protoss is taking their third, which can't be at 8 minutes, by the way. If he allows that 8 minute again, oh gosh.
I think Swarm hosts can be very good on this map. It's essentially, there's a singular rush to this path. Of course, there's 2, basically the one near the bottom and the one near the top. Obviously, the one at the top is going to take a little bit longer to get your opponents, you know, to his stuff. And Stormhost can kind of cover that angle too if they just send the Locust in that direction. So, no, it's not like a Act-Long Waste where you have to worry about a lot of different attack paths. You know, potentially a Cloud Kingdom as well. So, you know, Stormhost definitely doable.
Well, the big thing is one of the ways you slow down Stormhost. You don't want to do this forever because obviously you can't, but you want to cast a couple of force fields as the Locusts are trying to like come up a ramp. But you'll notice on this map, there's no 2 or 3 or 4 force fields you cast to stop Locust because it's more wide open once you get past the natural. So if you're in that scenario, basically your only chance is to either circumvent the Swarmhost entirely and try to do a weird counterattack, which is super risky, or you do battle with Swarmhost, which is also super risky.
All right, we're actually seeing a similar opening here
Robo
from both of these players.
Ooh, you know what? Hang on. Let me check your time because my clock's not open. That's a 6-minute. Yes, this could very well be the Soul Train. This could be it. He's got +1 going on that Forge. He's not going to Chrono Boost it. He's Chrono Boosting out his probes. He's very meticulously at 3 gas. I've seen him do that before as well. He adds the 4th gas in a little bit. And if this is an Immortal first...
I think it is. I think you're right.
Kablooey. And then he's going to Chrono Boost him out. So we're going to see it. He's known for it. He's famous for it. He's won lots of money for it. Let's see how it works in Heart of the Swarm.
Now, a big thing is going to be, can Sen identify that this is happening? Can he react appropriately? What he's going to be looking out for is probe production. He's going to click. He's going to look at these probes. He's going to see, okay, is he continuing to produce out of these Nexi? Going to try to catch a glimpse of an Immortal. That'd be huge, or a glimpse of the Robo, or a glimpse of the Forge. Little things he can scout. And right now, that Nexus is not building probes.
No Mama Core, by the way, just yet. So he actually might be dipping back into the old school strategies of Wings of Liberty. Nothing gets scouted here. Both the Overlords see everything standard.
Well, the Nexuses were not building probes there. So I don't know if Sen noticed that. Of course, when you stop those probes, that's pretty telling of a 2-base all-in.
Yeah.
But we see nothing but drones. And first time we actually see 3 spores.
No, so he doesn't
which don't help too much against a Immortal all-in.
And by too much, you mean not at all.
Right.
There's the Mama Ship being added now. 3rd Immortal coming out. Usually it's Warp Prism, and then an Observer gets added last just so you can fight back that creep if the game gets there. There it is.
Like burrow stuff if the Zerg decides to go for that.
0 supply blocks. He's been trailing us. I mean, he's done this a million times. This is what he's known for. He's going to be up to 7 gateways. Those 3 Immortals are it in terms of production off that Robo after the Warp Prism and Observer come out. And with him, with the Zerg player taking the expansion that he did, it's closer even. And there's no Zerglings out there to buy time. We have Hydros coming out. axeltoss, it's going to be Hydros and Spinecrows. That's it. The Hydros okay, but I don't know if it's enough, and I don't know if it's fast enough.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what I would do, because I'm trying to think, was he doomed when he made those drones? Was he doomed when he made those spore callers? Because I'm trying to think in this situation, what could the Zerg player do differently to deal with this? It's great that he's sending these lings across.
Out there. He needs to buy time. I mean,
yeah,
that's nice.
That's
he gets
great.
the sentry.
Cut off reinforcements.
Oh, he didn't even get the sentry. Okay.
Well,
oh, no!
Well, that was
way too much, but it doesn't matter.
He's only got 4 spines here. Like, something I would consider is just retreating back to the natural and trying to make something happen off 2 bases. But again, you're giving up so much.
It's the Hydros. It's Hydros and Spinecrawlers right here. Now, the Hydros are great. Yeah. They need that range upgrade. It's seconds away from completing. He will get that. It's 9, 8, 7 seconds away. Zealot's being warped in. As long as those Hydros are not all trapped on the wrong side of force fields, they should have tremendous DPS.
That's
but look at the patience of Parting. He's saying, he's even adding a robotics bay.
He sees the Hydras, and he's like, you know what's good against Hydras? Colossi.
Yeah, they're
so
pretty
he might
good.
even have a backup plan. And again, he can recall whenever he wants.
The patience is good. There's the force fields, but it's a wide open area. Those force fields don't do anything. They trap 1 Zergling, and it's not even a trap. He's safe 2. And you know what Parting says? I missed it. There go my force fields. I'm not doing it. I'm backing up. Sen is safe. For now.
For now.
Because there will be Colossus.
He's still not making probes, so it's not like he's going to go take a 3rd right now.
Oh, this is part 2 coming, buddy.
Oh,
this is
Parting 2.
Yeah, this is, I mean, he lost some force fields, but that energy will regenerate if given time. A few more drones are coming out here. It's going to be a lot of Hydros. Now, I will say this, with the Colossus, you still can do it with Hydros, but it's harder, and those force fields become even more important. If you trap the Hydros 1 time, you're dead. You're gone. But if you can get those Hydros in a huge concave and escape having the compacted damage down on your Hydralisk, your DPS is going to be tremendous, especially against all these Zealots.
Yeah, I mean, the Colossi will just melt away this entire unit composition. We got Lings, we got Hydras. We see a Roachborn just now added on.
We got Hydras. That is a lot of Hydras.
But at what point do you start thinking about Corruptors, right? When you're dealing with those Colossi. Because if you don't have Corruptors, it's a game about positioning. Yeah. If you can get a nice flank going, then that's going to be doable. But if Parting plays correctly, and if he makes sure all of his engagements are in choke points. Oh, wow.
Amakora abandoned.
That's...
Sen, you can't go there. You cannot push through there. That's a force fieldable spot. But he gets the Amakora, he gets the pylon,
okay,
kills a few units. Oh, okay, yeah.
That's important.
And he's got a Roachborn too to add roaches, but so far he's nearly maxed, and he has, well, 3 roaches coming out, but that's not much.
No, that is not much.
Sees that there's no third, by the way. That's really important. Sen's got Lings patrolling. He knows he's facing a 2-base all-in, and that's why that Spire's coming out.
He knows the Colossi
It can only be Colossus.
Yep.
In fact, 2 Colossus are being built.
Yeah, he built a second Robo there.
I apologize. I did not notice that.
It is nothing to apologize for.
There's 2 Roachborns. Did you notice that one, Axel Toss?
I did.
No!
Okay, you're right.
I did just now. Well, it doesn't really matter. All right.
Yeah.
Now he's pushing in. Anchored by 1 Colossus. 2 more coming out. Time is of the essence.
If you don't have Corruptors, you need that flank, and that's exactly what Sen is going for. Can he crunch down and sandwich Parting?
Oh, that concave, but the force field's on the one side holding them all back. Good force fields all around. Colossus is getting targeted down, but it still does survive. It's DPS available to it. The Zealots have been wasted, though. A large part of this Protoss army is just blew out the window. They were like, we're our life for our... And they're just gone. They just... Teleporters took them back to Ire, or wherever it was. No, not Ire, obviously. That would be a terrible place to get teleported back to. Maybe in Legacy of the Void. Maybe it gets better there.
Spoilers, bro.
Do we take it back? I don't know. Are you kidding me?
Well, we got 5 Corruptors on the way, so that's going to help the Colossi a bit, but there's 3 of them now.
Yeah.
And...
Sen's so patient. I love that he's waiting for the right engagement.
He's playing this as well as he could.
Absolutely.
He's maxed, by the way.
No big deal.
He's starting to bank some, which is great, because then you can always rebuild. And exactly, obviously. Getting over engagement, coming forward from the front with the Corruptors, Hydras, and Roaches, getting a flank going as well with the Hydras. Force field's going down here from Parting, but Sen slowly but surely whittling away at this army. Still 2 Colossi left. That's like pretty much the perfect engagement for Sen. It could have been better if it was on creep or something, but that's pretty much what he was looking for. But 21 roaches on the way, still a formidable force here for Parting.
Parting doing such a good job with what he has. He's out of force fields for the most part, so he has to be careful. He does pick off the 3rd, but here comes the Zerg. If he loses Colossus and he loses his army, that's it. I mean, you can't lose this army. There's a surround. Roach is getting in on there. There's 2 Immortals to anchor this army. The Stalker solo DPS. Immortals now exposed, not getting targeted down rapidly enough. Oh, excuse me, it's 3 Immortals.
Yeah.
And
those Immortals
now
are doing so much damage to those Roaches. The Corruptors are now essentially useless, so it's almost a case of, you know, imagine if those Corruptors were either Roaches or Hydras. Like, how much different would that battle be? How much different of a state would Sen be in? Now, the good news is he has 10 Hydras on the way.
Yeah.
The bad news is he lost that 3rd base. He lost a bunch of drones. He's down to 44. We've got 20 workers killed here for Parting. The good news is Parting is still on 2 bases, and I gotta think he's mining out of that 1st base very soon.
Yeah, I just checked. The unfortunate thing for Sen is that Parting has been so diligent about not I mean, he's just got just the right number of drones, so I think Sen's actually just dead. I mean, he ran past him right here. He can't do that. The ramp was his advantage, but that's now gone.
He's got to pull all of his drones, laying down the corruption onto the Stalkers. Also, the Hydras doing their DPS from the back. Again, no Colossi here, which means Hydras are going to be effective. But, you know.
Great concave. Yeah. Parting is winning it out.
Yep.
He's just going to win the fight.
Yep. What? Just out-unit. Out-unit.
Did you not see that?
What did I miss?
All right, I might have to show you a replay after this. A Hydra's burst into light on my screen. I don't know what else to tell you. It actually happened that way. It went to heaven. It's in heaven now.
That is crazy.
Parting is about to 3-1 Sen, which will put him in the round of 8. More money to this guy, and he's going to give Protoss another crack at winning this tournament. Unfortunately for the Zergs, their representative will fall down to just life. Yeah. As Sen got 2 base to death 18 minutes later. There it is. GG.
GG.
Some kind of curse word of some sort.
Victory for Parting. 3-1 now. Kudos to Sen. He definitely made a series out of it.
Yeah.
In that game, too, I felt like one little different decision here or there, and it can go either way.
In this game as well. I feel like he engaged really well 2 out of the 3 times or whatever, or 4. But when it's a 2 base all in like that, you make one mistake and that's all it takes. You're done.
And Parting just the story of that game for him was patience.
Yes.
He didn't feel pressured to, all right, I have to kill these spines. I have to kill this third hatchery. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna keep warping in units. I'm gonna make a second robotics facility back home, and then I'm gonna go into double Colossi production.
Yeah.
Once those Colossi are out, I'm still gonna be patient. Slowly move forward. Make sure my force fields are ready. Make sure my finger's on that F button, getting ready to lay those down. Of course, Sen, he got those great concaves, but parting again while those force fields were happening. He was microing away those expensive units. You want to keep those Immortals alive. You want to keep those Colossi alive. It's okay to lose the Zealots, no offense to them, but your important units are the Immortals and the Colossi.
Yeah.
And just parting, just great control, just great game overall. Great series overall.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Couldn't add anything more to that. Thank you so much for tuning in for that. On the other stream, I think they're figuring out how to get that game resumed. So sit tight. And as axeltoss was telling you earlier, we've got more games to come, but I think we're going to look at a bracket right now. Take a look.
Let's do it.
There it is. So we've got Last and Killer set up. Killer, the unlikely hero, taking out Thor Zane, and he's one of the last foreigners. Well, he actually is the last foreigner. He'll go against Last, who's one of the more understated players in this tournament. MC MVP currently underway on that red stream. Tasia Bomber, I think that's coming over here to the blue stream. And
I believe,
I don't know.
From what I saw,
it is.
It's going to be Tasia Bomber, and then Last and Killer. And of course, DJ Wheat and Axide will be bringing that here next.
Very good.
On the main stage, the red stream, it's going to be MC MVP, followed by Life against Bolt.
And for tomorrow, you guys have a flash parting matchup set up.
I'm getting the wiggles.
Well, you got the wiggles. I got the something else. I'll tell you that right now. And if that doesn't get you going, not necessarily you or anybody else, but just like, if that doesn't excite you, the matchup, let's get away from the matchup. If that gets you excited, then that's great. It is a PVT for the decade. I love it when these guys do battle. On the flip side, we have Rain Innovation. That, too, is a PVT for the decade. Innovation's been aptly on fire. Rain been tearing it up as well, although tripping up on Joxy. Joxy gave him a pause with the only 3-2 of the tournament. And then whoever wins, I mean, it's all going to be great. But those are guaranteed. That happens tomorrow.
Yeah, and of course, again, to recap, parting, taking out Sen 3-1, and that will conclude our stay here at the blue stream for now. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it. Last time we cast was Lone Star, I think. What, 3 years ago or something?
That was actually before Lone Star. That was the Tespa.
Oh my gosh.
Remember
they
that?
They didn't call it Lone Star at the time. No, wow.
That was
awesome. You know what's funny about
no one knows what we're talking about, but it's fine.
You actually, okay, so here's the thing. They flew me in. I was commentating this. They're like, we want some guys to commentate this. Great. You actually walked up with a cowboy hat, I think.
Did I?
I think so, and I was like, oh gosh.
I think that's a lie. You're just making stuff up. I was not.
You're going to tell me you don't wear a cowboy hat?
No.
You did at Lone Star.
Just because I'm at Lone Star, I did. Not at the one before that.
Not at the same tournament with a different name before that? Okay, well, maybe I misremembered.
This is a $3,000 one. Anyway, we got to get going. We could have that.
We'll settle this with the history book.
Anyway, all right. Online tournaments, guys. This is actually really important. I'm really excited about this. Not a lot of people know about this, too. You can go onto Game Battles right now and play in Heart of the Swarm tournament, StarCraft 2, presented by MLG. Free online tournaments. Of course, the rewards are credits, which you can use to enter additional tournaments, and then you can use those. In those tournaments, you win money. So, if you're looking for those tournaments, those daily tournaments, if you're missing those, this is your source. GameBattles.com. Again, presented by Major League Gaming, Heart of the Swarm. If you're tired of ladder, tired of beating noobs on the ladder, tired of beating your friends, go on to GameBattles.com. Check out the competition there. Of course, they'll have you make a name, and of course, you can participate in the forums as well. You can also get like a forum badge and stuff like that as prizes for winning that stuff. So really cool opportunity, guys. Please, please, please take advantage. I like when I heard we were doing that, I'm like, oh my god, people need to.
You got really excited about the forum badges?
Yeah, well, that's kind of cool. I think I'm probably not gonna play them. I think that'd be a conflict of interest or whatever. But
yeah,
a little bit. But guys, please take advantage of that, and maybe one day you'll be here at the tournament playing Flash, commentated by axeltoss.
It could happen.
Could happen. All right, guys, we got to go. Again, the next match, what did we say what it was?
I have the memory of a goldfish.